What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Think About It. I'm your host, Dan Martin. With me, as always, Evie the deer. She's not exactly on her mark today, but that's how deer are, to be honest. They don't really care about anything. Today, we're talking about evolution and how humans might not be the most evolved species on this planet. Today on Think About It. Think about it. So, I'm just going to come out straight out and say it. Plants are a more evolved species than humans. That's right. I said it. Now check this out. We're going to break it down in the true Dan Martin breakdown the bullshit fashion. Plants communicate with each other by touching each other. Imagine if I just went over, touched you on your forehead. Now you can think everything I think. You know everything I know. No communication necessary. A far, far more advanced means of communication than sound, if you ask me. Now, you may say we have internet and we have been to the moon. True, but these in themselves aren't traits that humans have evolved to become. They're just tools we've built. So our evolution doesn't extend past that of a bipedal that's invented tools. We didn't evolve to be able to go into space. We'd literally die if we did that. But don't take my word for it. Let's break down in my true breakdown the bullshit fashion. Okay, so I may be way off, but my idea of evolution, possibly because I grew up with comic books and Marvel movies, but my idea is like X-Men type of superhero kind of stuff, like run really fast, super strength, flight, mind communication. And yet we can't communicate with our minds. We're not very strong. We're not very fast. We can't fly. We can't breathe underwater. We don't have armor skin. We can't grow a new arm if it gets cut off. If you shoot us with a gun or stab us with a sword, we literally die. Plants can and do communicate with their minds. If you cut off one of their arms, they grow a new one. They're super strong. They're the strongest living things on this planet. Their immune systems are incredible. In fact, some plants are immune to every known disease on our planet. Plants can breathe underwater. They do have armorized skin. If you shoot them with a gun or stab them with a sword, it does literally absolutely nothing to them. They live for thousands of years. We can't even make it to 100. Toxic chemicals and gases are released from their skin to repel predators. Plants have discovered and conquered and settled every inch of this planet long before we ever came along. They can live in the harshest environments on Earth. We can't even live without AC for a few hours during a blackout. Some plants have evolved to not only be completely immune from radiation, but actually thrive at sites of nuclear power plant disasters like Chernobyl. If you're talking about genes, with some 37,000 genes, rice has twice as many as humans. Some plants can self-impregnate, some can clone themselves. Clone yourself. That seems like a really evolved trait, right up there with going into space and inventing internet. Their offspring can stay dormant for years and are 100% self-sufficient from birth. They self-regulate their body temperature. We need to wear clothes made out of them to survive. They have the ability to clean the entire planet as we destroy it. We can't even clean our rooms. We only destroy our planet. Not only for us, but every other living thing on it. That doesn't seem like a very evolved species to me. We're the only species that commit genocide on ourselves, the only species that has extincted other entire species, not once, not twice, but hundreds of other species. The only species that's dropped nuclear bombs on itself twice. These aren't evolved traits, people. And the single most discerning evolutionary trait that's unsurmountable, undebatable, and undeniable is plants have evolved to the point where they can draw energy directly from the sun. Now, let me repeat this because this is an important one. Plants have evolved the trait where they can draw energy directly from the sun. This in itself is unsurmountable compared to what humans have to go through to get food. It's the single defining ingredient that allows humans and everything else to live on this planet. Without this key function, nothing at all would exist on the planet. The plants wouldn't grow, the animals wouldn't eat the plants, we wouldn't eat the animals, nothing would survive. Drawing energy from the sun is by far the highest and most advanced evolutionary trait out there, people. Higher intelligence? Really? Give me a break. We're so fucking egotistical. I don't care how many bridges you build, how many spaceships you fly into space, how many cures for diseases. Without chloroplast, the evolutionary trait of drawing energy directly from the sun, none of us would exist. But it makes sense if you just think about it. Plants have been around much, much, much longer than we have. Over 100 million years. So they've had much, much, much more time to evolve than we had. Darwin, I think, said it best when he said, humans are actually really fragile. We don't have wings to fly away. We don't have hard shells to protect us, claws to fight with, or sharp teeth, or venom. We can't run fast. We can't swim particularly good. And we're not strong. And we can't really eat many things out there. Our diet is limited because our digestive systems really, really suck. We developed agriculture so we wouldn't keep poisoning ourselves. We make shells to protect us like houses and cars. We create our own wings to make us fly and oxygen tanks so we can breathe underwater. We create these things because we're naturally deficient of such protections and as a result are naturally prone to extinction. We're not very evolved at all. Many animals look just like us with fingers and hands and noses, the same eyeballs, the same ears, that act like us, they're smart like us, they communicate like us, and they do these things just as well as we do them, if not better. And yet we consider these things animals that are beneath us. See my video on this topic. Once again, to believe that we're the more evolved species. It doesn't get more conceited than that, people. We can't reproduce very fast. We only have one, maybe two offspring at a time, and even they have a really high chance of dying at birth. If they do survive, they must be protected for like 20 years. My goats can walk within 5 minutes. They can talk and are playing and jump around within an hour. Bacteria, conversely, reproduce every second. Funguses and viruses thrive and outnumber us trillions and trillions to one. Isn't it more likely that society, teachers, our parents, TV and movies, friends and family have all lied to us that we're not actually the most evolved species on Earth? The sun and planets revolve around us. Nope. Well, the galaxy revolves around us. We're the most evolved species. No. Just another egocentric concept we invented to feel better and more superior than everything else around us. God complex much, people? Only a very large ego, not a large brain, would think that the youngest species is the most advanced one, right? All we do with our evolved larger brains is wage war with it. We fight with it, we rape, we abuse. These are very primitive behaviors for an evolved species, for a larger brain. In fact, we may be one of the least evolved, dumbest species on this planet. As it turns out, intelligence doesn't necessarily mean more evolved, as these teachers and TV shows across America had led us to believe. The most evolved species on Earth aren't the most intelligent or the strongest or the fastest. They're the ones that survive. And the ones that survive have always been the ones that are more adaptable to change. Humans? Well, take a look around. We very well may be the least adaptable to change, mediocre at best. Again, and as always, do not believe anything you're told. Think for yourself and question everything. Help us stop sentient enslavement by hitting the like and subscription buttons below. And give us a thumbs up if you like what we were doing and you want to see more. Think about it.